Alright, welcome to episode 22, the final episode of season 1 of the Clone Wars. I am doing a review of every single episode of the Clone Wars, starting with season 1, going all the way to season 7. This is episode 22, the final episode of the Clone Wars. I actually thought there was 2 more after this. I don't know, I guess my brain skits out. I don't know. But I'm happy this was the last one, not because it ends, the Clone Wars Season 1, but this is a really good episode to end off of, let me tell you. Now, I feel like this episode needs no introduction, but, as I'm sure you can see on my screen, this is the debut of Cad Bane. Now, why am I saying it so slowly and, trying to make some big impact? Well, let me tell you something. This is by far my favorite bounty hunter in the entire Star Wars series. I've yet to see one that's even remotely even close. I know Boba Fett exists. I know there's Bossk. I know there's Jango Fett. I know the bounty hunters, alright? At least from the main series. Cad Bane, my opinion, blows all of them out of the water. He just has so much aura. Now, quick synopsis of this video before I get too into it. Let me get some light on me right here. But yeah, quick synopsis. If you don't know, basically, Cad Bane, he goes into the Senate building with a assassin squad, I guess. We get to see some new characters, some returning characters. Aurra Sing, all the way back in episode 1 from the Phantom Menace. If you don't remember her, she was at the pod racing scene. Aurra Sing comes back. Then you have the little fish guy. Can't remember his name. I don't think they even said his name. Because I was trying to pay close attention, and I didn't hear his name once. So little fish guy is what I'm going to go with. And I think it was 2 assassin droids and 2 commando droids. And effectively, they roll up to the Senate building. They take out some commanders. Some Senate commanders. And Senate troopers, I guess, is what they're called. And to not arouse suspicion, the commando droids end up, I guess, taking the voice from, not taking, but like mimicking the voice, making sure there's a green light so they can enter the building. They enter the building, and they just end up doing some pretty cool scenes. In hindsight, aren't that crazy anymore, but they're still really good considering the times and everything. But graphically, fine. But, there's that room where Cad Bane throws a bomb in. There's a few rooms where they enter, and, there's a sex robot there. Just saying. A little interesting. It might not be a sex robot, but it's a robot that looks very suggestive with some certain curvatures and some certain assets, let me just say. Did not remember those being there, but hey, gotta love the classics, I guess. But yeah, Cad Bane rolls up, kill a bunch of the guards. They get into the main area where the senators are because they're having a Senate discussion, I guess. And they end up trapping all of them, basically cornering them. They have Aurra Sing and the droids basically show up. They find out there's a Jedi Knight, aka plot armor Anakin Skywalker, lurking around, and I believe he tries to... I think he starts something, but then he runs off, and then he sends some droids to go get him, and then we get a cool fight scene between Anakin fighting some droids, where he doesn't have a lightsaber, because a little bit of Rizzler Anakin Skywalker decided to give Padme his lightsaber during this whole event, or just before this whole event took place, as a show of respect and love, some very interesting lines, basically, oh, I give you, when I made this lightsaber, Obi-Wan said treat it like it's your life, so now I'm giving it to you as a show of love and appreciation. And then Padme's just like, well, if you're gonna mock me, if all you're here for is to mock me, we might as well move on. And then Anakin hits her with the, well, what did he say? It was, well, that's not all I'm here for, or something like that. Some cringe moments, but, you gotta have the love interest aspect, Don't mind it, it is what it is. Old show, they had to portray it in a, kid's tone, I guess. But we even got a kissy scene. Ew, gross, disgusting. What are we? Okay, I'm not gonna go. Okay, I gotta relax. I'm not doing an MMA video here. Anyways, moving on. Basically, they chase Anakin. The bandits. I don't remember the race, but they're called fuck, what was his name? I can't remember his name, but they're the pirates, I guess. The common pirate crusty face with like those little edges, I guess, representing a beard and like the ponytail in the back. He ends up watching the droid get destroyed, but he notices there's no lightsaber cuts. A little cool, interesting thing to see. And then informs Cad Bane that the Jedi Knight might not be unarmed, or sorry, is unarmed. And they end up sending Aurra Sing, and then we get a cool fight scene between an assassin droid, Aurra Sing, and Anakin, where Anakin ends up getting tasered by a little fish boy, and they end up going and throwing his body basically in the whole thing. And the whole reason why they have the senators trapped is that Cad Bane needs leverage in order to get Zero, I think it's Jabba the Hutt's sister, cousin, whatever the fuck, a Hutt, a slug boy, or girl, I guess in this case, I don't fucking know, whatever that thing is. I think it's actually a dude, I can't remember though. So Zero, they need leverage to break him out. And this is one of the rare episodes where we don't get a unique clone. We actually get reused red clone paint armor. Fine, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, just something to point out. Almost every episode has had some unique clone. This one seemed to not have that. The Cad Bane decides to basically line them all up and then place bombs around them, and then he uses that as leverage, like free them or they die pretty much. And they end up sending one of the assassin droids to go pick up Zero by using I can't remember his name, bro. The fat Twi'lek guy who's like a senator. They use him as leverage, and they go over to Zero's prison hold, and the troopers led by Fox, indicated by the red armor printing, are basically letting Zero go. And as they let him go, they swap hostages, they take Zero, they go meet up with Cad Bane. Cad Bane gets ambushed, a little bit of a gank, you know, down in mid lane, by Commander Fox and his crew, but Cad Bane has the bombs rigged up, and he basically threatens their lives, and, you know, tells them to drop their guns or whatever, holster. The Aurra King himself just has to walk in and say holster, and everyone just listens. You know how it goes with Cad Bane. And yeah, they get on a ship and they leave, and that's pretty much the whole plot and premise. Overall, this episode was pretty good. Remembering it back when I was a kid, I would have easily given this 9 out of 10, maybe even the GOAT status of a 10 out of 10, but remembering, or now that I'm watching the Anakin scenes, kind of hurts it a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you know? I don't want to give too many episodes 10 out of 10s or 9 out of 10s with Anakin in it, because the Anakin specific episodes, we know nothing bad's gonna happen to Anakin, unless there's some important character development that I'm sure we'll see in the few seasons coming. I don't see a reason to give an episode a GOAT status if Anakin's like one of the main characters, because we know there's no risk, there's no things, you know, we get to see new stuff, of course, so I feel comfortable giving the Aurra King himself in his debut an 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10, you know, pushing maybe a 9 out of 10, but I'd give it an 8.5, you know, we'll give it an 8.5, I feel comfortable with that. You know, I love Cad Bane, one of my favorite bounty hunters of all time, and, you know, it's just because he's able to contest one-on-one on Jedi most of the time. He can even wield the lightsabers like a Giga Chad, and he literally is the Aurra King. He kind of casually strolls up to the Senate building, gets a gun pointed at him, has a sniper ready to eliminate them, and then has the rest of his fucking group just slaughter them, and then he mimics the voice so he gets the green light, and he walks in like a badass, bro. He strolls up, takes your bitch, blows up the place, and then says, peace out, I need my money, you know? Like, what more do you want from a bounty hunter? He's everything you want in Star Wars. He quite literally strolled up to the Senate building, said, hold my beer, I literally captured all of them, threatened all of their lives, and said, you will release the prisoner I tell you to. Gets the prisoner, gets away with it. Like, what more do you want from a bounty hunter? There's no one more badass, at least up until this point in Star Wars, in my personal opinion, in terms of timeline, than Cad Bane. He's just the GOAT. Another important thing I want to mention, the voice for all these characters, I thought were really well done. Cad Bane's voice is one of the best. Oh my god, it's one of the best voices that, like, match the character. Oh my god. You know when you just hear that voice, like a Callus from Destiny, and you're just like, oh my god, that is perfect. Whoever that is, you keep that job for the rest of your life. I don't care if we have to cryo freeze you, you know? You will stay that role for the rest of your life. Cad Bane's just one of them, you know? It's just so chef's kiss perfect. Love every second of him speaking, you know? But getting past that, we also got some nice little not references, what is it called? We got some former characters, you know. We had the Organas, we had Padme, you know, Padme's Padme. We had the sparkly eye, alien dude, the Grebo lookalike. I don't remember the race or his name, but the Grebo lookalike. We had him return, you know. We had the Ice Senator that we saw earlier this season in episode 50. I can't even remember. It's been a while. But we had that senator come back, the blue people, I guess. I can't remember their names. But, yeah, some really interesting little references here and there, you know? This episode, once again, does all the little things you want Clone Wars to do. And while we didn't get a unique clone trooper, we got a unique-ish paint job on the assassin droid in the back. I'll take it, you know? We got some unique designs. Cad Bane's obviously just one of the goats and villains, you know. I have seen what they did to him in Boba Fett. Hey, rest in peace, Cad Bane, you know. If only you never appeared in Boba Fett, your legacy would forever live on as one of the badass fucking legends in the Star Wars universe. As far as I'm concerned, Book of Boba Fett isn't even fucking canon, alright? That's just a dream that he had in that Sarlacc pit. That's as far as I'm concerned. Alright. You know, ain't no way Cad Bane loses a shootout to fucking anyone, especially an old man like Boba Fett. Anyways, little spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, congratulations, but, you know, unfortunately I just spoiled it for you. It is what it is. I don't really care. Book of Boba Fett's trash. If you actually plan on watching it like me, you must be a psychopath. Like, you definitely take medication in order to monitor your mental health. And unfortunately, I don't, and that's why I'm a little mentally insane. And I'm going to go watch that series at some point. But yeah, with all that being said, just want to thank you for watching. You know, this is Cad Bane's first debut in the final episode of Season 1. Season 1 is now concluded. And I just want to mention, now I know I don't have, you know, the biggest fan base or anything right now, but I do want to respond to any comments or anything you guys leave, and I'd be interested to see if you want me to do either each episode reviewed, because, you know, if I don't get any comments or no one objects to it, I have no problem doing every single episode. I personally like reviewing every single episode, but I do know it takes a long time, and it kind of like elongates things, you know what I mean? It's an easy way for me to get my daily uploads going, but I do understand that it is kind of just like a way to extend a lot of videos, you know? I'm going to try to compile all of them in a single playlist so that it's easy to watch all of them at some point. But yeah, I am curious if you would rather me just review the season overall or the episodes overall. Now, I personally don't mind doing the season or episodes. I feel like the benefit with doing episodes is that I get an in-depth review, you get a synopsis of the whole episode, and you get my thoughts and opinions on basically every little detail going on in the episode. A season review is more or less, these episodes were good, these episodes were bad, but I can understand, at least from like a broader perspective, how some might want to do that. I might also just end up doing a season review at the end for both. I think I might end up doing that regardless, but I am curious if you just want the episodes or if you guys just want to see a season review. You know, I will be around reviewing every single episode in Star Wars as far as every series goes. I'll do every movie at some point. It's a long journey, and I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want to sit down and watch, a whole season of the Clone Wars in one day and just be burnt out and not really remember a lot of things. I like this episode by episode sort of thing. But if I were to do the season, I'd probably leave little cliff notes, and then I'd probably review them after I've finished the season. But yeah, with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, taking the time to listen to me ramble on about Star Wars, and as always, I hope you have a good day.